Hello and welcome to the Power of Healing Your Energy show. This is episode number 18. And this is a weekly YouTube podcast show, talks about your spiritual path, the healing journey, and unconditional love. And my wish is that everyone finds it within them. I am your spiritual medium, intuitive energy coach, old soul healer. And each week I have a guest or subject, and we all do the deep dive at the soul level, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it's an open discussion. We want to find and share new skills, techniques, and support along the way. So please participate. Please share this out. Get comfy. Join the conversation. And my guest is the Power of Teresa Warren, Rising Through the Fire. And Teresa is a certified life coach, certified Akashic Records practitioner, certified angel guide. Through the Akashic Records and messages from your angel, she can highlight skills and talents from your past lives that can be brought forward into this life, and she can help heal blockages in your current life and in their past life roots. All right. Hey, everybody. And I'm going to bring Teresa on there. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds out. We've sent positive vibes your way. Not everybody is plugged in as we are, or around the world. It just depends where you are. And I want to thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you, Christine. It's been a pleasure to watch your show and catch up on you and stuff. Yeah, I'm so glad to meet you and work with you.
Yes, definitely. And are you smudging? Is that Palo Santo?
Oh, yeah. I so love that. When I was learning to channel the angels, the woman told me that Palo Santo actually raises the vibration. Rather, sage just clears it, but the Palo Santo raises.
It raises, yeah. It brings in the good vibes. It keeps the vibes high.
So,
whereas, that's amazing. Thank you for doing that. So certified life coach and certified Akashic Records practitioner. I guess, what is the Akashic Records? If, let's say, no one, I'm sure some people have heard of it, and maybe some people are like, I have no idea.
Okay, I think we all may have heard of it a little bit, but what it really is the energetic memory of your every single lifetime is stored here in the Akashic Records, and there's also the Cave of Creation where it's stored in a crystal, and we each have our own crystal, and then when we're off planet, that one's like turned off, and then when we come back in and we pass through that again. But also the Akashic Records are held within the 8th layer of our DNA, always there with us. All these memories, all these past life and skills and blockages, whatever it is that we're bringing forward and using, they're all stored there in the Akashic Records. It's fascinating. Have you ever looked down an old dirt road crossing the desert and wonder, where does that road go? What did it look like 1,000 years ago? Ooh, when you can open the Akashic Records, you can find all that stuff out. So it was like, answers.
Yes, definitely. And is that mainly you work with people doing that, or are you doing, because you're also a certified angel guide? I guess talk about the angels, because before the show you had a few clients that there seemed to be some misconceptions around angels.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I took an angel class from Kyle Gray, but when I first started to learn to read the Akashic Records, I was in a Zoom class and we're having a Zoom meeting. Everybody there is like, oh, there's an angel behind you, or look at that. And I'm sitting there going, oh, wow, they're all psychic. I'm not. What am I going to do? I wasn't all ready for that. and then when I learned how to become the channeler of them, I see them in vibration. So whatever your senses are, that's how you're going to see them, whether you hear them, whether you actually see them, or and sense that they're there. That's how it's going to come through. And I see them in vibrations and stuff. Angels are messengers. They are our helpers. There's the archangels that we all know for specific things.
Yes.
And then our normal angels that hang around us, our spirit guides, our angel guides, those you can actually assign things to do. Like, oh, am I remembering to put on my protection every day? Am I putting up my shields? Well, I'm going to assign an angel to help me remember that every morning. So a lot of them are sitting around waiting. None of them can come in and help us unless we ask. And they
Yes.
never are they doing you harm. They hold you in non-judgment, which is hard for us to do with each other even, but they hold us in the eyes of non-judgment, and it's beautiful. This is why I like to work with them.
Yeah, no, I can see that. And maybe, yeah, if you, again, with my guides, angels, and loved ones, if you don't ask them to dinner, I mean, there's that old proverb, they don't show up, right?
Exactly,
So you
yes.
have to ask them because they're like, well, we're just waiting around for someone to ask us.
Isn't that neat though? How much
Yes.
support each of us really have? Because there was a time in my life I didn't think I had any support. I didn't even think I was worth the air that I breathed, right?
Oh
And
my
I
gosh.
didn't know I had that support. And now that I know what I know, I can look back to those days and I could see the angels were all around me. Only one, I didn't know how to call on them. And number two, I did not know how to accept the help. I
Yes.
probably would have had a reaction instead. You know what I mean?
True enough. Like, oh, yeah, I think that many people's reactions are, I'm losing my mind. What's going on here? Am I crazy? No, no, you're loved and protected. You just don't know it. You just don't
Yes.
know it. Liz is saying hello. Hi, Liz. Thanks
Hi,
for
Liz.
joining. Please share this out. And we welcome all questions. We're talking about angels and Akashic Records. And, you know, maybe some, if you're an empath, I know that's a big one. I did
Dragons. Yeah.
and dragons. Oh, yes. Definitely. And just supporting each other, especially us ladies. And I keep seeing that word worth coming up. There seems to be a worthiness issue rampant in women. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and that's also an old soul trait too, as well,
Oh,
because of how
okay.
many times we've been coming. How many times have we been born into the darker energy that ended in 2012? That energy we were born into, and what happened when we try to bring forth the light? Boom! You get burned at the stake. You get
Hmm.
chased down. You get tortured. You know, all those things that happen. So, also as an old soul, there is worthiness issues with worthiness of being, can I do this? Can I not? And then we have the family bringing in that sometimes brings
Yes.
in worthiness issues, and sometimes
Hmm.
society in general has a way of trying to, it seems that keeps us down. So now we're learning how to thrive and how to help each other through this. We are not in competition. We are here helping each other's light and reflecting it and shining it brighter.
Yes. Yes. Preach.
Woo!
Preach to that. I just got chills. I mean, I'm a soul. So everything you spoke,
Yes.
I'm like, you're talking to me. And I actually had somebody ask me, what is an old soul? And pretty much that's what I read back to her. And as well, you know, I was also asked, like, what do you do? Because it was an event. And I said, I sell myself. And they're like, huh? Because they were selling product. I am the product.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Whoever
Yeah.
thought we would grow up to be using our minds, nobody would have expected that of me. But you know, we're bringing through so much more, because when I open the Akashic Records for people, it goes beyond just the earth. There's the earth Akash, right? And that's what everybody's expecting to see. But man, I can go and see up to Sirius, the Pleiades, and I could see beyond and beyond. So much that we are doing that we just think, oh, that's just me. I just do these things. But so much of it is wisdom that we are really bringing through. And the things that give us passion are the very things that we came here to bring through. But
Yes.
what do? We put them on the back burner and things. It's like, wait a minute. No, 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 no. Do you know where that skill came from? It came from so many lifetimes of you doing this or that, you know, whichever case it is. It's exciting.
It is. I Long story short, I'm not going to go into it, but I was part of a big event last night,
Mhm.
and all the ladies were selling their products, like the bracelets and the signs and stuff like that, and clothing. And I was the only practitioner there.
Oh.
And if there was the moment where I thought, okay, why am I here? For a bit. And then people, like, I'd watch people and they'd be like, oh, you could tell, like, oh no, I'm not going near her. You could tell they were triggered,
Oh,
right?
wow.
So they kept going. And then the other people that would come, and then we had conversations for like 20 minutes at a time. And I'm like, I absolutely love what I'm doing. Like, it was another message for me to say, Christine, hello.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it was amazing. It didn't even feel like work. It just,
Yes.
yes,
Oh, I love that. That's a good
yeah.
story. I love it.
So it just tells me that to keep going, because we all have moments, and I'm sure you have quite the story yourself where you're like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Does anybody care? Do I matter?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Those are questions I go over a lot. And it's the questions that we ask ourselves that really take us to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
If we're not asking new questions, well, then we're only going to get the same old answers, so that when I turned 47 was what I call my awakening. I've always had one foot half awake and one foot in the normal world, right? And I
Yes.
never put it all together until I hit the age of 47. And I think it had to do with menopause. Things are
Mm.
changing in my body. And I started asking different questions. I started appreciating different things. It's like, well, my family thinks that of me. The neighbors, no wonder I'm acting out what my family believes. You know what? None of that is me. I'm going to start acting like who I really am. And then I had to think, well, what it really is that? Because I've spent so many years just trying to fit this
Oh, the
family
mold.
scapegoat,
Yeah.
you know, because you
The
had to,
black sheep.
yeah,
Hmm.
seriously, because if you didn't, if you'd get my mom's wrath on you. And
Oh gosh.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, you had to fit in that. And I can't help it. I'm a free bird. No. So,
I love it.
but it's true though. And this is where so many issues come up for us. But you know what? Every one of these issues that we think, oh my God, I'm getting triggered, or this issue, it's all something that's really pointing us to the path that we wanted to do when we came here. Now, when it came to my mom, who, like, we talked about before, she's the narcissist, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm the empath. So there's a typical relationship there. And then when you get trained early on as a child growing up, if somebody you knew was a narcissist, that trains you to get hit by every other one that comes along. But when I looked into my Akashic Records as part of the course, we had to do this, go look at somebody who's like the hardest on you in your life. And now I could see my mom's point of view and my point of view. And it's like, sure, she came in with her troubles and her own issues. That's her path. Me, it was always up to me to cower under her or to
Mm.
rise above it and say, I'm going to be me. Well, I spent all the years cowering under. And
Yes, I
it's
know.
like,
Like,
oh,
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
hide. Yeah, I feel you. I so feel you. I
and
do.
so when I turned 47, like I said, the chemical thing going on in me, it
Mm.
was like, no more of that. And then I started going back, what do I really love? Well, I love the Native American things. And what did I
Mhm.
love most about that? Oh, the rocks. Oh, so that got me. And I started collecting the rocks again and the crystals and the things. And that just led me on and on and on. But I had to start asking the right questions to get new answers. And that's what really started me on my awakening. How about you when you were going through that?
Well, I'm just going to pause for a minute because I have Liz has been waiting patiently. She's just asking if it's possible to move to an area where an ancestor lived over 100 years ago, not knowing they did. That happened to me. I felt like I had lived there before. It was another country and the exact village. Oh, yes. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a neat story. That she reminds me of another story of someone I opened to her Akashic Records, and she was an adopted person, and she wanted to know about the history of her real family or her
Mm.
biological family, and and she had also incarnated in her family line, because we don't always have to. We come from other families and then we come into here. But she had been incarnating through her family line, and I can go back to places and see places all the way back in Scotland and things where she had been and stuff. So that moving into an area where an ancestor lived, who knows that you weren't that ancestor? The
Yes.
crystalline grid beneath you is made out of crystals, right? And crystals are recorders. They record the information. Some part of Liz is tied to that. And it was time for her to go back to that same place to get that information from that crystalline grid, and probably to activate her in whatever ways that she's going to be needing.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She's been doing a lot of work and transformational stuff here. So I can see. And please note your dreams. I posted about that this morning as well. Please, if you remember a dream, it's a message.
Yes.
It's a message. Write it down, because it might not make sense then, but it will, when you go back and you're like, oh my goodness, what's going on here?
No, it's true. I know we like to discount them, like, oh, I only dreamed that because of that movie I watched or something. But the subconscious mind uses whatever material it can come up with to get the point across to you. It's our partner.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, write down those dreams. Get a dream journal. Christy!
Yeah, Christy's here. Here she is.
Hey, Christy.
She's a beautiful soul as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's a fellow energy practitioner as well. So, and thank you for joining me, Christy. Thank you for joining us. Why am I saying me?
She saved me so many times. I like the sickness in my house, and I was so worried. Oh no, I'm going to get it. Christy has done her magic that she does and saved me from being sick so many times.
Beautiful, beautiful. And okay, we're going to go back to what happened to me, and I think the same thing happened. I was perimenopausal early,
right,
and I found it really I told everyone I would have one good week out of the month. The rest of the month was crap. My emotions were crazy, along with other issues. So I went through the diet, the cleanse, the detox. I took everything. I did everything. At the end of the day, I ended up getting a hysterectomy. I still have one ovary though. But let me tell you, I got my life back, and just in part of opening up to my guides, my angels, my loved ones, and doing the work that I love as well. It was synchronistic, all of it. But it was a year of, it was challenging.
No kidding. No kidding. Well, I honor you for all that you've been through, and now you can always help others going through that, because I
know. And I was so emotional, but I wasn't channeling it in the right way. Meaning helping other people. That light, just vibing back and forth. After that event last night, it might have been late and I was up for probably 16, 18 hours, but I felt amazing. Like I still wanted to go for 2 more hours.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's the kind of stuff I want others to find, is to be like, okay, this is a natural high and it's amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We don't need other things. We don't need things to mask or to numb ourselves.
Oh, not at all. You're right. You're absolutely right. First thing I wanted to show you is first that did you know that in a lot of women's societies that there's a lot of them that won't even let you into certain secret societies until you've gone through menopause first, because at that time there's other things available to you that were not available to you during the growing years, or during busy years of our life, that we have to get to this point. Then there's a whole lot. I read that from Lynn V. Andrews' books that she had. But the other thing that you were saying, though, that's where I get on it about the spiritual bypassing, and I'm sure all my friends are sick of hearing about that. But
hey, let's pretend I don't know what that is.
Okay, spiritual bypassing is really a dangerous thing, and I first heard about it Oh, so many years ago. I was I was mentally ill, bipolar disorder, and borderline, all the fun things.
Mm.
And and I was seeing my therapist. And then I started reading books by Dr. Wayne Dyer
Oh, I
and the
love
whole,
him.
yeah, and I was in love with all this stuff. And I learned a new way to be. And I started being happy all the time. And she says, I don't know. Well, I'm going to have to watch this for a little while, but I'm worried about you. I think you're doing something called spiritual bypassing. You're just taking all this positivity and masking it over the things that you actually need to deal with. And I'm,
Hmm.
oh no, I am really happy. I just thought she's just trying to make more money. I was not understanding what she was saying. But spiritual bypassing is a thing that we have a lot of pressure to do because, hey, I'm a light worker, or hey, I'm a healer, or hey, I channel angels. I'm supposed to be always in a good mood. I'm supposed to be overflowing with honey and love all the time. But we don't. We came here to be humans. In Egypt, way back in those days, they had over so many more emotions than we have. And what are we down to? Like under 12 emotions now? And they had more. So we've already cut out so much of our being human.
Yes.
When we grow through these things, each trial, each trigger that we go through teaches us something, even if it's just teaching us about us and our own resilience. It's beautiful. And this is why I'm going to harp on that we need to not mask, paint on a happy face if we're not really feeling it. you know
Yes.
and if you're doing an affirmation and finding out it's not working for you, it's somewhere, even if it's your little toe, somewhere there's a part of you that doesn't believe that affirmation, and it's calling bull. And
Yes.
you find that part, you deal with that part. Here's the thing. Okay, one of my sons needed Ritalin. Ooh, right.
Okay. Mm.
Nobody wants that. And I was mixing it all in. Oh, I'm a bad parent, and nobody's
Oh
helping me.
man.
There's all
Mm.
kinds of so many things masking it. And the truth was, for him and his path, he needed the Ritalin to help him to focus. And that was really what it was. But me, I'm being triggered by everybody who's saying, oh, it's just because you're feeding him this or that, or you're letting him
Mm.
watch Ninja Turtles or something. I was triggered by everything. And in the end, I had to go in and deal with all those feelings so that I can stand up and say, hey, I know that I'm doing my best. And I know that this is the best for my kid at this time, even though I don't really like it. But it's going to help him focus enough on school to get the work done. And then at home and on the weekends, I can let him do what
Hmm.
he wants. Or, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But
You
all
are
the
your,
triggers, I had to
yeah.
deal with them. Yeah.
It's so amazing that everyone has advice except for themselves.
Yes, all that. Thank you, thank you. Go away now. No,
Oh man. And you know what? Even myself, I'm like, okay, hold on. No, no. Is it kind? Is it necessary? Is it true?
good point.
Don't say it. Right?
Really, really, because we want to support each other. We don't want to be critical no more. You know what I mean?
No,
We're
no.
move past all that.
And Brené Brown actually talks about core emotions. There's 32, and
32. Okay.
I printed them off because I was like 32. I think I've used them all at some point. No kidding.
Oh,
but
neat.
but
Uh-huh.
honestly, as a society, we tend to go to anger or sadness. Those are our go-tos,
You know what?
and
You know that
mm,
it makes a super highway every time that you go down a certain path to a certain emotion that becomes your go-to emotion. It's because you've gone down and fired your neurotransmitters so much that there's a super highway immediately going there, and it's so hard to change it to a new superhighway, but you got to stop using that one.
Yes.
No more. Deal with whatever it is that causes you to go back, because it's old emotions at that point, not the issue.
It totally is. And Liz is saying thank you for addressing this. We were talking about the Akashic, like her ancestral, her knowing, like she's been there before.
I think that's exciting.
It is very exciting. I try and astral travel as much as I can every night. But I don't know about you, but I ask my angels, my guides, my loved ones specifically to come in every night and let's go. We're traveling. We're going.
Oh, how exciting. No, I don't, because I don't remember. I'm told that I do astral travel a lot, but I haven't come back with the memories yet.
Okay.
So
it takes practice, and even, people say, "Oh, I don't remember." Well, you have to practice. It's like a meditation. It's like anything else. It's like, okay, you're firing up a new super highway.
Yes, you're
there we
building
go.
a new one, exercising the muscles, getting it going. Ooh.
So it will. You just have to open and have the intent and believe. And do the work.
Because I know we leave every night. We leave, whether we have memory of it or not, and we go to schools. We go get healing. I've actually had some that I have remembered, and now that I know what these are, I've been to Sirius and done some things there, and it had to do with dolphins and stuff. These little rainbow dolphins. They're so cute.
So cute.
Yeah, they really are, and there's so much light, and the water was like, it was like full of essence or something. It was just, so I've been to these places, but I want to remember them again. So I'm going to practice that now and get back into that.
I tend to always go to like Atlantis, or I'm a mermaid. I'm a mermaid a lot. I love the water. Nice. I know that for a fact. That's where I would like to retire, is somewhere near the water. So I'm working on that.
There's a man named Garnet Schulhauser. He's an author of 4 books, and they're always dancing something, like dancing on a stamp, dancing on stuff. It has to do. But if you look up his books, he was a big lawyer who came to meet his spirit guide, who ended up being like some homeless guy. And he said, "Why are you following me?" I mean, it finally ended up, "Hey, nobody else can see me. They think you're talking to yourself. Only you could see me."
Oh, wow.
And he says, "If I appeared and talked to you in your head, you would think you're going crazy. So I had to appear to you as something like this." He took him on adventures, and in one of the books, there is a total account of him, his spirit guide, taking him out of the body, astral traveling, to talk with a mermaid. And they are very real, and they really are still on the planet. They're very fast. They stay the heck away from humans as much as possible, because there's just nothing between them. And they breastfeed their babies, and they're just normal, except not. So they're real.
Yes, and I've even had seen, how I described it is they're mini piñatas, but actually they were miniature llamas. But they look like piñatas because they were fluffy, and I pet them like it was, like I was there. Wow. I mean, when I try to describe it to others, they're just like, "Okay, is this a new book, or is this a children's book you're writing?" No. I mean, you never know, but.
No, that's so exciting. I love that. One of the first goddesses that got in touch with me when I was just learning the path was a goddess from Egypt named Ma'at. Ma'at, different ways. And I had a past life where I was burned to death at a stake in France. Okay. And I had issues from that, and worthiness issues, and just a few issues come up from all that. So Mott took me into a tributary to the Nile River, and the water was nourishing me. See, since I was out of my body, like you would know this experience, I'm out of my body, so the water's going through me, and I could feel the water it also had vibrations in it and stuff. And then she showed me to look up the river a little bit more, and there were 3 women who were picking up the water into jugs, whispering words, and then pouring it back in, like
Okay.
and who they were in that lifetime. They were my mother from that lifetime, my grandmother, and then it was Emily Harrison, my teacher in this
Oh,
lifetime.
wow.
They were all there healing me. So my thoughts of like, oh my God, I'm dying abandoned. Where's my God as I'm sitting here burning? I went through all those doubts and fears. Mott showed me, no. People were praying for you. This was just your time. You had other things to go on and do. It was your time to go, and you went out dramatically, but you were prayed for. You were healed. Nothing was forsaken, and all the skills from that lifetime are still with me now.
Yes. No, I'm picturing it. I could see it. It's very, very vivid. And yeah, Egyptian, that whole era or time period is very powerful energy. You think of the pyramids, you think of prisms, you think of 3, think of
Yes.
Trinity.
Yes.
That's what I think of.
The trifecta, or whatever you call that little. It's a symbol too, and it's got
the
3.
infinity symbol?
No, it's got 3
No.
though. And it's
Oh,
just like
3.
that, but with 3. The
Okay.
trifecta or something like that. I'm not
Yes,
sure.
trifecta. That makes sense. We were just talking about 3s with somebody else today too. That's interesting.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That's so cool.
Yes. Say hello if there's. I know there's other folks watching. Don't be shy. Ask a question if you have questions about angels, your guides, loved ones as well. If you're seeing signs or symbols, you're not sure what to do. Just reach out, ask. There's no such thing as a silly question. If you don't ask the question, then silly for you not to ask, right? All right, I think Teresa's Wi-Fi has gone out a little bit, so we're going to wait for her to come back. All right, let's see. Oh, hi. Hi, Doreen. Thank you for joining us. Is this your first time being on the show here or tuning into the power of healing your energy? Looks like my lovely Teresa is back. Here we go. There she is.
I just do that sometimes.
We were just talking about Mercury retrograde, but yeah, I mean, you're kind of out in the country. So when you think of Wi-Fi, it's just like healing. It is not linear. It's like this. So if you've got dips and valleys, Wi-Fi doesn't work the best.
Oh, wow. Yeah, where I'm at. Okay, I used to be in California, had everything.
Yes.
Okay, out here I'm in a small town in Tennessee, and I promise you, people like just a few miles up the road from me don't have any Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, ooh, who would want to rent there? But I'm that close to the edge. But fiber optics is coming, and
yes, there you go.
I signed up for it, so I can't wait.
Nice. Nice. It is very nice to be connected. That's for sure. That's for sure. So I was just asking, where everybody's from, if they have any questions about angels, guides, Akashic Records. We'll even say astral, dreaming, traveling. If you have, if you're really wanting to remember your dreams, if you have any struggles with meditation or maybe spiritually, your healing journey, are you maybe living I don't know. I just got this dual, somebody's living a dual life.
In the closet with their gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. I actually ran into a couple ladies last night that I started shuffling cards and I'm like, come on over. And she did. And I'm like, I said, I spotted you as soon as you came around the corner. I said, you're very intuitive, but you're in the closet. And there's nothing to be ashamed about. In fact, the fact that we have, watered down our intuition, we don't honor ourselves and our intuition. We are, to be tied to the light and to be intuitive and have gifts and whatever it happens to be, that is your birthright. And you are not serving yourself
yeah.
by worrying or wondering what other people are thinking, because they're not doing that for you. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, no, it does take a lot to come out of the closet. You know, in Lemuria, the women were the teachers and the spiritual leaders there. Why? Because of the sake that we can totally drop into our intuition so much easier. For a male, yes, they could still do it too, and they become beautiful things, but they have to take extra steps, whereas we are natural with it and
Yes.
stuff. And the
Yes,
thing
we are.
that's unique about this time that we're in right now, if you're still a woman, you were a woman back in Lemuria. And if you were a man now, you were a man back in Lemuria and stuff. And so it's like,
Nice.
it's time to bring forth all that knowledge. How do we bring it forth? By listening to our intuition,
Yes.
following that passion, you know?
Yeah, it's all about the heart, you know. It's about being open in the front and, soft in the back. It's
Oh, yeah,
having that balance.
that's a good one.
Liz is asking, can you explain about the records? Are you asking in general?
Yeah,
No.
okay, so just say more. Okay, the Akashic Records are held, like I said, they're the energetic memory and they're held for you. They're in your DNA. They're that close to you. And they're always there of your every lifetime, every choice, every thought that you've ever made. But the thing is, they're all held in the non-judgment. And
Mm.
that's what's really cool about it, because you're not going to go back to a past life and look at it and be shamed by anything. You're going to more actually see the growth, or, oh, now I see why I have that weird idiosyncrasy. It's because I'm bringing this with me. And this generation, we are breaking the chains. We are going through so many new moons and eclipses and things going on, helping us to get rid of these shadows and these parts of ourselves from past lives, from this life. And even I was going through some issues and I was asking my guides, where does this come from? It came from lifetimes being in the Pleiades.
Oh,
Things are
goodness.
clearing. We are clearing
Yes.
lots this lifetime, because the ascension and everything that's coming or that we're going through can't be done unless we let go of these things. We deal with them, let go of them, and now we're able to stand purified in our hearts, purified in our souls, and move forward into the golden age.
And does it help to maybe tap into your like meditation? Is it not a meditation? You're basically you have to be at a point where you can go and just let go and start going back. If that makes sense?
When I open the Akashic Records, Emily Harrison has taught us a meditation to do that. So I go through the meditation. Now, the next thing is I started learning this. Man, I need a lot of help, because like I had to move. I had to leave my home. My mom sold it and I had nowhere to go. And I needed the help. So I started leaving my records open all day long instead of closing them. And then that gave me the help so that I get the inspiration, I get the feelings, I'm following the things that I need to follow, because that was a big adventure. All that moving, it was a big, I needed help. And Archangel Gabriel came in and helped me. He helps with quick decisions when you have to
Yes.
make things. And it was down to the line. I thought I was going to stay in that home forever. I'd been there 11 years. It was my grandmother's home, but my mom owned it. My mom sold it when she found out I was a light worker, and boom, I
Mm.
had 6 months to get out. Thing is, at my financial level, there was nowhere. I tried all over California and I had no way to get there, no way to look for a place, and no way to get a place. So right before my sister, she came over and put us on an airplane with what we can carry. And that was it. And that's how I landed here. But it was beautiful, because when I did land here, for the first time in my life, all three of my children were under one roof, because 32, 27, and then 16. I
Oh,
think
wow.
that's how old he was. And so it's like the chance of getting all of them under one roof and living together with them again was beautiful. And then getting to see my grandchildren. If Spirit asked me to move, hey, would you like to go to Tennessee? I would have said, heck no. And now I'm here, and it's beautiful. So sometimes spirit leads us on trips that we don't know. We can't see what's coming next. We have to have this incredible kind of faith that everything is still going to work out, right? I knew I'd land with my head up, all right. I knew everything would turn out all right, but boy, I still had to go through a lot of crap, and then I had to work on a lot of forgiving,
Oh,
which I used is Archangel Jeremiel. Jeremiel is the one that works with it, but Zadkiel came through and helped me with that because he has the colors of purple and silver, and there's another color, but the silver was the color that was helping me work with forgiveness, or I couldn't even be here right now
yes.
because I lost so
Yeah.
much. We lost our dogs and everything, and so.
Aw.
But this is what the community is for. That we get to reach out to each other. We get to go in, have our dark night of the soul, and we become better for it now. And this is what's so beautiful and what I love about all that we do and learn and share together.
Definitely. And you say Dark Night of the Soul, it reminds me of Michael Murdad. He's a spiritual leader, and he wrote a book about the Dark Night of the Soul, and everyone's like, what is
Oh,
that about? And you should catch him on Sundays and stuff. He's on Facebook. He is like the real deal. And he doesn't, there's no black or white, like it's not you must do this or you will go there type of
oh
deal.
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah. He welcomes all, but he talks about the Dark Night of Soul, and I see it as those Weight Watchers commercials with the big bag of oranges. That's what you're
Oh,
carrying around.
yeah,
You gotta
it's
let it
true.
shed. You gotta let it go. You gotta drop it. That includes ego. That
Yeah.
includes false beliefs. That
Oh, so many.
includes the trauma. But forgiveness is the biggest piece, and I think, no, I know that holding on to your bitterness and poison for others
That's
is
it.
is only
Bitterness.
going to you're going to dissolve yourself. It does
Yeah.
no purpose for anything other than keeping you stuck.
No, that's exactly. I totally agree with you on that. And
Mm.
and I learned from Teal Swan. See if I have my notes here. There's there's two questions that you can ask yourself when you're trying to get to your core beliefs that you have to change. And one of the questions is that, when you're digging in and you see something about myself, like, why am I triggered by that? Well, because they're going to make me late. Well, so what if that's 100% true? Is that so bad? Is it so bad that I'll wait? Well, no, that means this. And then now I have another excuse. Well,
Oh
ask
yeah.
the question. There's two. Well, what does that say? What does that say about me or to me? What do I understand? So there's two ways. If that was 100% true, is it really so bad? Or two, what does it mean to me, or what does it say about me? And then you keep answering those questions every time. Well, this, well, that. Finally, you're going to get down to where, well, it means I'm unlovable, or it means I'm unworthy. And you
Mm.
get down to the bottom. Now you see that core belief, and you see how many places it has affected your decisions and your choices. Now that you've identified it, you kick it out. It's easy to get rid of now, and that's what I love about it. So,
Definitely. Yeah, no, and that, yeah, asking those questions instead of going with the feeling and then just going, what's the word? I don't want to say get on the crazy train and not get off. I used to ride the train a lot. Because I didn't know what to do with all that stuff, and that's a great way of breaking it down for sure. Now it looks like, oh, poor Lynn. I think she was on my watch party, and
oh,
she was saying that all of her comments weren't showing up.
oh,
So
Berlin.
I know, and hopefully she's still with us, but I know she's a busy lady. So
Hey, Lynn.
um, yeah, I don't know how much more time you have. If you wanted to talk maybe a little bit about your workshop and what's coming up and how people can get a hold of you.
Okay, there's a workshop I have coming up with 4 of us. four plus me. Okay, so there's five of us all together. We're five sacred sisters, and we came together quite by chance. I mean, we all knew each other, but the day and the time and how we all came together, and we built this Facebook group that had like over 600 people overnight. It was coming out big, and so we're the five sacred sisters. Each of us kind of represent a different element, just being who we are, like you and what you represent. Each of us just represented five different elements, and so we all came together. And then we're thinking, well, how can we better serve our community? And then there's times where you want to manifest and you want to bring things into your life, but you know you're not matching it. So what do you do? You paste on that smile? Oh yeah. Do you try to send all that energy in, or do you sit there and deal with what's holding you back? And so each five of us come at it in a different angle, and there's 4 different meetings, workshops. There's like 4 different masterclass workshops all together to this whole thing. And it's about manifesting when you're feeling shitty, when you're feeling really bad, and how do you still get to that point? And then we carry it on further with, okay, so it's like, now you're in the shit, what do you do? That's the first class. The next class is, okay, let's use this shit to transform you, or use this shit to fertilize your dreams. I mean, we keep that goal going.
Yes.
To all 4 of the workshops to show how you could still manifest and bring in that new life you want. Few steps. Go and deal with the things you need to deal with. So 5 of us are doing that, and that's exciting. And so I didn't bring the link with me, but maybe later on.
Oh yeah, no, we'll put it in the comments after. It's everything. Okay. All the links will be there. Your Facebook group, your contact information.
And so we're doing it on 11/11, 12/12, January 1st, and then 2/2. So we picked all those days like that to bring this to everyone. And you could buy all the classes all at once, or you could just go one at a time.
Nice.
And
there
see
you
how
go.
we go. Yeah, it's going to be
amazing, fun. Amazing. I love the numbers, by the way.
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. A lot of people, that's usually what a lot of people see as signs, are numbers, repeating numbers.
Oh yeah, no kidding. I love that. One time my angels were telling me to slow down, stop trying to put my face out there so much, and stop trying to run a business. And I'm thinking, well, why? I need to eat, or what do you mean stop? And so I did something. Another event came up, and so I depression coming on, and it's like, okay, I'm going to stop. Everybody, thank you. I'm going to take a break. And I did. I went and I laid down and I took a nap. And when I woke up from that nap, the angels downloaded a card reading to me. And it's an 11 card reading.
Oh, wow.
It's angel blessing reading. And it's like, oh my, how when a download comes in, it's like a big chunk in there all at once. And I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to remember all this? So I actually had to draw out that little map there that you saw. And then all the meanings, they started telling me all the meanings for the cards. So that's a special thing I've been running lately, even though I consider myself more an Akashic Records reader. But since that's come in, it matches you. It tells you 4 of people on your support team, whether they're angels, dragons, or animals, whatever they are, 4 of your support team, and then 4 cards down here that they each help you with.
Nice.
So it coordinates exactly, and it's really cool. So that's what I've been doing with all my friends lately. Hey, you. No.
There you go. Oh, that's amazing. I don't know if you have anything else. I don't see any other comments, but of course, if anybody comments afterwards on the replay, just mention replay, and either myself or Teresa will reply. We're very interactive no matter what, even after the show. And if you really enjoyed the show, please share this out as well. And just let us know if you have any other questions. Is there anything you want to close with?
Nope, there's just so much exciting to share. I can't wait. You could reach out to me, reach out to me, Teresa Warren, like that, or I have a group called Empaths on Fire.
Empaths on Fire, yeah.
Transformational coaching for empaths and light workers. And I do that. And so The empaths on fire is more the literal thing based on that past life in France I was telling you about, where so
Yeah, no, I know when I saw the group name, I'm like, that's interesting. That means something.
yeah, yeah, it really did. A lot of people take it to me empaths like inspired and on fire. Well, that's really cool too. But when I first thought of
Sure.
it, I was trying to honor her and stuff. But yeah, I have a wide range of things that I teach people about too, including dragons and
Mm.
unicorns, because I work with all of them and I channel all of them. And I've even channeled a couple of elves and
Oh,
stuff. So,
nice.
oh
Ooh,
yeah.
I love all that magical stuff. Any
Oh yeah.
fairies in there too?
I've seen fairies as a part of another meditation I was doing when I was over there, and I was seeing that they have a way of all, when we positive words that we're speaking, when we're saying positive words, they're able to make more magic out of our positive words that we're doing. So that was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
It was
And I
hard to
mean,
describe, but yeah, when we're talking bad about ourselves and saying those things, not only are we hurting ourselves, but they can't really do anything with that energy. The beautiful things that come out of our mouth and the love and stuff, they can turn that into more, and then it reflects back to us. I've channeled Kuan Yin. She put me through a really important lesson. So,
yes, no doubt.
so
And
that's
I mean, that
about
makes sense. It's just like the neurons or the superhighway. It's all about, if you catch yourself saying something negative, flip it. If it's fear, flip it to love. If it's worry, it's faith.
right.
You always gotta find a spin on it. And if you need to put post notes all over your house or on your phone or in your computer, that's what you do. And it takes 21 days to form a new habit, and hopefully it's a healthy one, right?
Hopefully.
Yeah, Liz is saying thank you, ladies. And I'm not sure, but Lynn was asking quickly. She's asking, when we get a reading, we are told who we are in a past life. How does one heal from past lives?
Okay, so when I open up the Akashic Records, one, you can come in with questions, and then I will ask your questions. We do the meditation, and then we open our eyes, and we're just like talking back and forth. And then they take me to answer your questions. Or some people come to me, I have no questions. I just want to know what my Akash wants me to know at this time.
Hmm.
Look out. Good stuff comes through. All kinds of stuff comes through. And then we find out after like 3 lifetimes that I see of somebody, I can actually see the jewel that they are. I could see like their soul purpose and things. And I could see, oh, no wonder you do this and this and this. They go, oh, how did you know? I didn't even tell you. Oh, well, that's just because of all of these lifetimes. That proves to me that you're still an animal communicator, or you know what I mean? You could feel the energies and stuff.
Hmm.
Or if you do want to know specifically who was I in this past lifetime, that we can go back and we can look and we can see. And so how does one heal from the past life? This is the coolest thing. When we heal from the Akashic Records, you are not only healing the person that you were and that whole family line backward and forward. How many hundreds and thousands of people does that make? But you're
Mm.
bringing that healing to you now, which then heals your current
Yes.
ancestors and future as well. So many people get healed. And one, we can send healing there as both, because no healings happen through somebody. It's you that are open and ready for it. And so by the fact that you're asking for your records to be open and you're doing this, that's showing that you're ready. And so I will often send healing. I'm not a Reiki person or nothing, but I send healing, and I do work with Archangel Raphael. He puts his hands on mine
Yes.
and does that. And then I also use the pendulum to clear. That's clear.
Hmm.
That's clear. Now, while that pendulum's going, I'm getting more pictures. Oh, okay, this is going to help you this way. Or, oh, wow, we just cleared this. You know what I mean? I see more pictures when all that's going on. And actually, the ceremony that I do to close the Akashic Records, we do a final Om. And then even then, I start seeing more pictures of any last thing that they want to be brought through for you to know. So does that answer that question?
And it looks like she has just a little bit more. I guess she doesn't know what questions to ask, and apparently her Reiki teacher told her she has to heal from some past lives.
Awesome. That's exciting. I mean, that may me feel bad. I don't know. I think it's exciting. And as a Reiki practitioner, can't you also heal past lives?
Yeah, yes, you can. But here's the thing. Yeah, I caution. Like I always ask, given Reiki, will you allow me to give you more than just Reiki? Meaning any
Nice.
messages that come through guides, angels, and loved ones. Because if they're not, if you just spout it out to them and they're not, you're breaking a trust big time. And I caution too, because the ego likes to get in there as well. As long as you have proof,
Uh,
like you're getting the messages, right? That's important.
Yeah, let me tell you an example real quick that's kind of interesting. I had one person come to me and they told me that they had seen somebody who read their palms and said they have something to heal from a past life. I'm going to charge you $300 and fix it for you. No, 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 she said. I'm going to talk to my friend. So she came to me and wanted me to heal it. She said that her boyfriend, her husband, had killed her in a past life. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm used to seeing so much positive things, but let's go back and see what we're going to find out. During this whole thing, I saw the whole thing. I saw what happened. And we actually even had to send healing to where her blood went into the ground and stuff. It needed healing and forgiving and stuff. So what she had to forgive was not necessarily her husband that was killing her. She also had to forgive herself for trusting in him when she had all the signs not to trust him. And it's not like he was a bad guy. He was just somebody who was stuck in a position and he had to silence her. And that was the way that he found to do that. We sent healing to that. And then so there's Archangel Michael coming in and helping with the healing. And they're showing me the more she's forgiving herself for this, the more it's easier to actually forgive him in the past life. But it was actually like a sink filling up, like you're letting go of the water in one sink and the next sink fills up. She was filling up with so much love herself. It was weird, draining, taking out
Yeah.
all of the
Just
forgiveness, yeah,
all of
all of
that.
that, and this. And then I promise you, just like in the movies, there was this white light that came down and God started talking, and I'm having to tell her, and I'm like, okay, this is really weird, but you won't believe it. And so we're both sitting there crying our eyes out, going
Aw,
through this message.
that's
But when she
beautiful. That
took that
was, yeah,
step, taking that step to forgive, all the forgiveness that needed to be done, and sending healing to the land
yeah.
too, and all that, that brought so much healing to her. And then she was able to move on and get into a relationship and stuff. So it was kind of exciting. I mean,
Oh. That no, it sounds beautiful. I mean, you don't realize like what gets disturbed, like the land. No one thinks about that, like what's happened on it, especially with, well, we're not going to go back into politics and war and all that, but that holds energy. It holds energy. I don't know if she's still here, but she just said that Marie said she just got here, no idea what's going on. Well, we're just talking about angels and Reiki and healing and the Akashic Records. So, but I, got an hour going on here, and I think we're going to wrap this up. But I want to thank you again, Teresa, for coming on. I'll have to have you come back because I feel like we could talk for hours.
we'll have fun. We'll do that, and we'll do a meditation. Even we'll take
Yes,
them to
let's do
visit
a
Maud
meditation.
or
Ooh,
Atlantis. You might want to go back to Atlantis, I
I
think.
would love to. That would
Yeah,
be amazing.
we'll do
Okay, let's
that.
let's do that.
Right on. That'll be fun.
All right.
Thank
Well, I
you.
want to wish everyone love, light, and blessings. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends.
Woo.
Take care.
Bye-bye. Thank you.